Vivo having a team that was below the top 4 in LATAM or in Brazil, being able to bring themselves straight up to the top, past the teams they couldn't beat before, and now both ready to show what they have here to get themselves in a knockout. I'm so ready for this, Doug. Let's get it going.
Kicking off on split, Vivo keyed on the attacking half. Already see a couple of Astral Stars, one headed towards Mail, one up towards Ropes. Give him a bit of room to work with across the middle of the map. Kazinit's in a great spot, though. Dealt a little bit of damage, backs up off. The Roomba's coming right his way, so yeah, he's going to have to give that space up for sure.
Vivo'd a lot of stars over towards A already. Just giving a lot of distraction to what KRÜ might be setting up on this round, and they're pressuring that utility. Nags to start it off with a nice ghost frag.
Yeah, NTK's been cleaned up, and there was a bit of pressure that was pulling off, but no, it looks like they may want to go back towards A. There's so much being invested from both of these teams. They both drop members. Joe drops as well as Kesnit's looking for another one. Is able to clean that up. KRÜ just really wiped the floor in the pistol.
Wow, coming up huge on that. Kesnit having the wherewithal to keep the eyes on that rope area, get a few more jumps in, take that for himself. Honestly, this guy coming in after Iceland picked up on the team as a streamer, and he stays on the team when he was picked up because of plays like that, because he just was so damn good. That's one round for KRÜ. We got a lot more game to go, and we'll see if this Vivo keyed squad can put a little bit of fire into this bonus, or second round. KRÜ has weapons on.
Now, Riv, I always get a little hot and bothered when I see a judge. Ooh. And that's exactly what Nagsit's going to be using. You see him playing across mid, while for Vivo keyed, again, on the attacking half. A little touch and go towards Garage. Spike isn't over there. Seems like they're waiting for a bit of aggression. The alarm bot's going to give away the positioning of NTK, at least early on.
I like that. I like that jump in by Vivo there. The nade came in. You saw that it was NTK to jump in after. So if there was the back of an enemy, he would find it. So already trying to just get away with a Spectre or something. And now it's going to be much harder. Oh, the ponytail there in Heat's eyes, but not enough to get that first blood.
The thing is here for Vivo Key too, you don't have very many options, right? So the wall has gone up from Azino to deny entry in towards B. They don't have. Oh, Naxat!
That's a nope.
Yeah, it's a warning shot is what that is. It's back up, bro. Yeah, he ain't getting in here. But because the wall is up, right, like, you don't, it's so difficult. I know we've touched on this before, but it's so difficult to get through that wall when you have nothing but pistols. It just takes forever, right? Having to claw through that thing. So the wall goes down. They've bought enough time. Now they're going to go, but you've got Kesnit with the raise nade. My goodness! The triple right off the bat. They were waiting for the wall to go down. It does, and it almost seems like they would regret it. NTK and Vixen are going to fall as well. Kesnit gets to 4. KRÜ get to 2.
That was nasty. It wasn't even the paint shells. It was the pop. It was the first. Oh, my word. That is just disgusting. Well played. Also positions himself well in front of the Astral Star so it doesn't give him any problems. Picks up 3 there with a quick assist as well. Going to his team. What a round coming in there. It looks like Marie's going to be feeling good now. Oh, sorry, Kesnit.
Yeah. No, I think he's fine. He's now 2 points away from having a showstopper.
Oh, my word.
We're
so
just
early.
now entering round 3. Exactly. Very early. Well ahead of schedule for Vivo Kid here. It's his first round. They're going to have rifles. You see the Ultra just goes into the pockets of the Xeno.
Good focus.
So they focus. Yeah, you're right. The western side of the map, they're able to focus that orb, get it into the pockets of the Sage, and hopefully bring that into the next couple of rounds.
And so far, having Joe on the flank now, looking at Vivo Key's side. They are split 4-1 towards mid. This is an area they've been able to grab each time. And the wall, once again, goes up. Broken instantly, though, so the pressure stays in mid for Vivo Key.
Just really like cutting noise. I think you had in the previous round it was the wall and then it was the nade that caused problems. This time it was the nade initially pushed them off, then the wall goes up, and as you mentioned, now that they have better weapons, they're going to be able to work their way through that. You've got Delzik in a great spot. He's got nothing but a Spectre, but he should get a decent amount of info. 44 seconds left in the round. You see some of the rotates already coming out from Kesnit from Defender Spawn. They want to go that way. They also have keep an eye on that Astra Star up in heaven. There it is. The gravity well comes out. He's going to dash in onto the site. And NTK is already good for 1. The wall's going up as well as Joe gets in on the action. Vivo Key just cracked the site wide open.
And this is really great from Vivo Key. The setup that KRÜ had with their alarm bot on A, watching Heaven, watching the ramp, allowed KRÜ to rotate early, but Vivo Key coming up with some great first shots to make this one work for themselves. Vixen will make it a little harder, along with extra slow utility for any of these members of KRÜ to get in. Let's see how they do finally pressure this one. Nags could be waiting for the flank to come in as you see him working the Judge slow to do as much damage as possible before he's found.
Yeah, or maybe even just get a couple of exits along the way. You see him
does look like he'll stall
that.
there, yeah.
Yeah, so just wait.
Oh boy.
Couple
Cut the
of
angle.
shells
Yep.
to the face. Nags it.
Oh dear.
Whereas it's like he knows, right? Spidey sense is tingling. The swing out is there. He's good for one. Again, oh, this is all like blow up. Cause as much damage as possible. Klaus was on the defuse. I don't know if he got it to half. He should have gotten close. So Nags gets 3. It was spicy. It was fun to watch, but Vivo Key are on the board.
I like that. The round goes to Vivo Key, but KRÜ makes it a little bit more painful. These teams reading each other well, the ins and the outs right now. We'll see how Vivo Key continues to play this spread map. It does not look like they will have Joe go over towards the A side right away this time. Spike has been in hand for most of the time, so Vivo Key is playing a lot of what's happening in the middle of the round, quick split decisions, and making a move off of that pressure gain. Let's see if they can do it here. Blade Storm from Nagzet. It is the lockdown for Joe.
Not only that, but for Vivo Key specifically, it's a heavy lean towards B. You saw the op out from Nags that wasn't able to connect anything. There's the lockdown that you mentioned, is it's going to clear out space towards B. There's nothing that they really have as far as a counter to clear out that lockdown, so they have to wait it out, and then they move forward.
Definitely a lot of thought going into this round with KRÜ defending all the Astrid utilities over at A, but that means it's bodies at B. Can Vivo Key do it again? And KRÜ is striking true.
KRÜ just refused to give up an inch, although Joe got 2 there at the end to keep things close, but Klaus gets to 3. And I think one of the things we have to talk about, Riv, is Klaus and his turret placement. That's now 2 rounds in a row, if I will allow you to bring you back to that triple with the nade. It was the turret playing contact, and it wasn't just that it played contact and got info, but it also dealt a good bit of damage in that round. This time the turret was causing problems from up in Heaven out of Klaus, delayed the entry in from VK, and allowed the rest of the members of KRÜ to swing around and just clean it up, and they are fired up.
And that's got to feel good, because that was a read on the lockdown coming into round 4. As we move into round 5, 3-1, KRÜ brings it back into their favor a bit, and we have that eco now for Vivo Key.
Nags it once again on a Judge and the Blade Storm in his pocket as well. For Vivo Key, they've struggled a bit. And we haven't really seen a hit towards A at all. It's been a whole lot of B, and it's been a whole lot of mid. Well, that may have been a bit more than he bargained for, but Miri's with a nice trade.
Delzik answers back with 2 very fast. NTK is going to second guess heading into that mid area. And none of those sheriffs able to really grab what they needed. They can't recoup Kesnet's weapon, so it is just going to be looking to push in. Is that wall up? There's a wall, so they may look to grab one wall and plant for that 300.
Oh!
Nice
Certainly
defense.
didn't feel good. Yeah, you see awesome utility usage there. You've got the Nano Swarm, you've got the Gravity Well as well, so catch him in the right spot, and HP just gets shredded in those instances. For Vivo Key, they try testing the waters towards B, see if they could find a way in. Not going to be an option. Delzik can take in the middle of the map as well, and I love that, right? At the end of the day, it's just a pistol, but that's methodical, right? You understand where the pressure is. You're able to deny some of the space on opposite sides of the map and really take real estate away, right? Remove options, remove room for them to move, for them to breathe, and it just causes so many problems. And you see that here for Vivo Key. It's just NTK. He has nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's good to still see the pressure. KRÜ fans are going to be happy, but like you said, also puts that mental into Vivo Key. They're probably not going to gain any ground very easily if they start losing members. KRÜ is ready to push forward and be aggressive. Delzik here with the first 2 before he capitalized on the last in mid.
Just methodical, surgical. Enter round 6, KRÜ with a 3-round lead. You've got Op in the hands of Nagzet. He's given up the Judge for a slightly more exciting, arguably, slightly more exciting weapon, although the Judge certainly makes a case for itself. Still has that Blade Storm online, and mid presence continues to be the key. This time you've got the slow orb with the nades, and again, for KRÜ, their utility usage has been so good, Riv.
And you can see the flow of the map as well as Vivo tries to read the utility coming in. KJ for KRÜ over on B now. The first few rounds that are really susceptible to being rushed on or heavy util just to get a plant down, they want the KJ util there. So varying up the way this works. Oh my word, right to the nose of Mazzino, but he stays alive and gets himself a little healed.
Wall gets taken out, and folks, we've been here before, right? Wall goes up, wall gets blasted down, and it's enough out of Vivo Key to make KRÜ think about it, right? Have we lost control of it? The nice thing for them is they have that turret one more time that's playing contact for entry into heaven, so they know that nobody's worked their way up that way, and that's why they're sitting tight.
I like this. The rope game becomes the mental game. If Vivo Key can actually get KRÜ to rotate. They're playing a very solid 3-2, though. A good lean can already happen from Nagzat, but Uri's is going to start this one off a lot differently. First blood there for Vivo Key.
Very nice shot.
30 seconds
Again,
left.
and it was playing contact off of the turret. Kesnet's in a great spot here.
Nice distraction.
Kesnet was good for one. Nagzat's Blade Storm was able to get one as well. Klaus still playing down on the side as the spike goes down. It's just one member remaining on the side of KRÜ as Delzix on the opposite side of the wall. You can pick up the op. Hey, does he go for it here?
10 seconds left.
Double 3K?
Spike planted.
Maybe.
Covering it.
Great to see from Vivo Key that round. Multiple points of execution when they did decide to go in. A lot of the rounds have been milling about, understanding that they have mid, and it just seemed like KRÜ still had a lockdown on each site. But the multi-prong attack for that one definitely giving Vivo Key a bit of an advantage. And Vixen's going to meet up with Delzik here. I think he hears the steps.
Op not going to be carried forward. We talked about whether or not that would be a potential. It was certainly what he was trying to do there, but just not going to pass the time around. And again, we've got to talk about that shot from Uri's there because he was playing contact off of the turret, but the swing was great, the shot was great, nullifies that pressure, and that's been the choke point that they've had a hard time getting past, right? Like, that's been the problem area for the last couple of rounds. Big win there for Vivo Key.
So we got a Spectre on Nag, and that's about it. They should be pretty good off here. A few light armors there could make the difference in a quick trade. A lot of Vandals on the side of Vivo Key to make those headshots count. One away from 5 ults. NTK needs an orb. Vivo Key looking like they got some momentum. Mazzino just gets his res.
And again, it's been, what, 3-4 rounds now that KRÜ have just been able to farm that orb in B Garage. It's all been going into Mazzino's pockets, and as you said, Riff, that was the instance where he got that res online.
Great trade.
Yeah, excellent trade. He did get tagged up for it, but he gets away with it.
Right behind each other, ready to throw pies if the other one misses. Heat now with the shot towards the backside of this defending heaven area on A. And seeing the Sage, I believe they'll hold this strong. But Vivo Key comes up with 2 very nicely over towards B. This could be a big swing.
Yeah, they are going to go ahead and rotate. They've gotten into B, and it's not just that they've gotten into B. Really, they've been able to work every single facet of the map that they want to. And take a look at where Muriz is at this point. He's deep in defender spawn. There's really nowhere for Klaus to go. He does get the kill on Vixen and get the lockdown online, but the spike should go down B. You see the remaining members hunting Klaus down. He's only down to 13 health. Joe's going to get the spike down. Vivo Key should presumably win this round.
Lockdown's there for Klaus into next round for KRÜ, but you're still looking at all of those ults. You didn't really need too many to go into this round unless he come up with his. We didn't see too much action other than his operator to start. And I don't think they needed to activate it for this. Spike's been planted. It's just waiting this one out, and not much more hunting will be done with Maurice's damage taken. But Vivo Key showing very impressive here, not deterred by the fact they were down a few rounds. And they're, I wouldn't say running the same strats, they're getting to the same points, but varying up the way they are pushing forward with the utility to cause KRÜ to rotate differently each time. A lot of that's just been through mid too, though. Just walking up to that zipline area, making sure they have control, making a lot of noise. Tagged up to 13. Oh, my word.
I was like, keep the op, guy. Keep the op. It's not worth it. I know you want to go for it. I would swing for it there, but don't do it. Keep the op. You're right, though. For Vivo Key, that's a big round, right? They've been able to get a couple here. They're starting to bridge that gap back. That is 2. The last 2 rounds going in favor of the defending, of the attacking side. Excuse me, representatives from Brazil looking to cause a splash, looking to make their way into the knockout stages. KRÜ, light buy here. Nagzat. We talked about that op. We were able to carry it forward. It is going to be in Nagzat's hands. Meanwhile, Heat with the Blade Storm. It may not be a Marshall, but He's pretty good with this, too.
If KRÜ pick up this round versus 5 ults, it's unheard of. Oh, he put right out of the zoom just in time.
Unlucky,
Reese takes down Delzik to start things off. Vixen with 4 HP.
Oh. We sung Heat's praises, and he swung around the corner with the Blade Storm. Was looking to hit a little burst action. Instead, he gets a Sheriff Shell to the face and gets dropped. For Vivo Keed here, they're continuing to work the spike closer and closer towards A. Delzik's going to get the res, and it's interesting that they're willing to invest this much. Again, remember, folks, they don't have much as far as weapons go.
There's the lockdown out. That's going to spread most of the site. You only have the back left to be hiding in, but it's all Vivo Keed ready to defend on this one. Oh, Maurice with a push.
Yeah, I love this. Take the space away. The space that you burned from the lockdown. The showstopper not connecting. You see the Cosmic Divide is coming out as well, making the retake from KRÜ so much more difficult. They're going to have to push into that. The good thing is they do have Naxet, who's gotten in a little bit further. Class is able to trade out Maurice as they continue to work their way towards the site. Wall's going to go up. Joe playing down low. You've also got Vixen in a decent spot. Second lockdown's going to come out. It's going to push things out right into Naxet's lap, but is Vixen going to get the timing? Slowly but surely swings around. Vixen gets the shots. Klaus able to trade it out. A 1v1. How have they gotten this far? This is beyond me. Klaus with the tap. A 1v1, the shots that kill the 3K, but I don't know that he's going to have time for the defuse. No, he's going to drop. We're tied up at 4 apiece.
Wow, these rounds are coming down to the last drop. And that was another one coming up for Vivo. Just back and forth, only a few ultimates used there as KRÜ just completely negated on that site take with what happened on the lockdown. It was tough for him to get back in, and Vixen with the patience to come around on the backside there to make sure things would go their way. Klaus here. Woo. On point with that shot. Vivo feeling it right now as they get quite a bit of momentum here to bring it back 3 in a row. We'll see if they can bring that to a 4th.
It was 3 in a row, but that still was an expensive round for Vivo Keed. You saw, it's not up anymore, but yeah, I think he spent close to 7,400 credits, right? Like, yeah, they had to allocate some funds around different accounts in order to make this work. So while the round did go in favor of Vivo Keed, I think it's a financial win for KRÜ to hurt economy as much as they can, given the lead that Vivo Keed has been able to put together. The thing is, though, for KRÜ, you've got to capitalize on that here. Yeah. Right? Another ult orb going into the pockets of Bazino, this time on A.
Star coverage in mid coming in from Vixen, so Vivo Keed again can work to that comfortable position that they have in front of them. Most of the KJ util now sitting up in heaven, so they can be alerted with that turret again in its defensive position for both entries into the site. Not too much movement from KRÜ just yet. They feel comfortable with what they have set up. I like the fact that they're pushing Vivo Keed to make the move, but Vivo Keed, after that move, tends to react faster.
So they have a little bit of room to work with towards A. You just saw, too, all of that Killjoy utility you were touching on. It was the Alarm Bot, it was the Nanoswarm, and then it was the turret. First, they clear out the Alarm Bot and the Nanoswarm because it gets popped right off of contact. Then the turret gets cleared out. Vivo Keed have slowly but methodically really picked this round apart, Rip.
Yeah, every little chance that KRÜ had to say information can be gained here. We have an advantage in heaven, have been taken away slowly. And now Kesnet has that elbow on hold. Showstopper's out.
Lands the shots too. 11 seconds left on the round. The spike is just now making its way forward. And the thing is, Kesnet still has that spot. The nade! The nade! The nade! The nade stopped it, but the spike did go down. Excuse me, Vixen's up top in heaven. He's already gotten 3, dropping down, looking to land a 4th as Naxet is alone in a 1v2. Naxet slowly on the swing, drops things down to a 1v1.
Oh, wait a minute.
Joe, surely you check that, right? Surely you don't let him take that out. The tap. He got it to half. Naxet swinging around just outside of his smoke. The tap again, forcing Joe to swing out. But does he call the bluff? No, Joe's so patient. Naxet's not going to get a chance at this. The spike continues to tick away. Naxet gets tired. He gets frustrated. He's going in for the kill. And Joe says, not today.
Got to point something out there, Doug. The diffuse on the left side of the spike allowed Joe to see the color of the spike before seeing his opponent. The color of the spike can tell you whether they're diffusing or not. If it's red, you got to make him dead. If it's blue, it's completely a fake. He was seeing that it was blue and didn't have to fully show himself.
Man, I thought you were going to rhyme something off of the blue.
I'm sorry.
I was with it. So
I'm sorry.
Red, gotta make him dead. Okay, yeah, I'm blue. No, nothing?
Blue, it's not true.
Blue, it's not. I like that.
There you go.
We'll carry
there you
that
go.
in.
Really smart play there on just a simple defuse.
You talk about momentum shift, right? The thing is, we touch on that a lot, but that's because this game is so generally swingy.
in those situations. So you can see the bankrolls they have right now, and 3,000 coming in per round.
4,500 out of Vixen, 47 out of
all
100
those stars.
Out of yeah, it's just
it's pay for the Galaxy.
It's been very expensive, very expensive.
You're right. You're absolutely
Vivo
right.
And for KRÜ here, they've got sheriffs. They're not really going to be able to spend very much else. You've got no util on Klaus. You got a little something to work with on Mazzino.
Textbook. Oof. Somehow Heat lives.
Cause a little noise. I do like the turret that's been dropped there from Joe. Again, playing contact. You've also got the alarm bot to make sure there's no pinch in. Coming in through Garage on B. So they're shoring up their defenses on at least on both sides, really, because you've got the utility from Killjoy, and then you've got Vixen, who's all the way into heaven right now. He's made his way up ramps. They can focus across the middle of the map. That's exactly what Heat's doing. Once again, clear out that turret, work the rest of the map. But Mazzino, did Mazzino hear him? Did he see him? Oh, it certainly seems that way. He's going hunting! Mazzino able to land the shot. Torres is going to come out as well. Oh! As Mazzino almost picks him out of the sky. Not able to do it. Kesnet once again using his util to cause problems. The spike is down, and Heat just picked it up.
Muri's still pushed up quite far. They have to figure he's floating around somewhere since not a lot of action was seen mid. You see how much respect that KRÜ is giving to the backside of their map, thinking it's going to be a big flank the whole time. That drop-in is going to be her, and Delzik will make a call.
Again, how have they
Here comes a rotation.
How have they gotten to this point? They just had sheriffs, Rick. They had sheriffs, and they've dropped things down to a 3v1. Heat has been so good in instances like these. He's good for one. Kesnet's so weak as well.
They've got his lockdown. Uh-oh.
Cloudburst all over the place. Where is he going to go? Kesnet on the tap. Surely he rides that to half here. You've got Klaus who's playing on the side. He's not going to go to half. Heat playing up in heaven. Oh my goodness, what a shot! I mean, what does Klaus do here?
He saw set.
What does Klaus do? The dash away?
Timing.
Spike continuing to play away, Klaus! He's going to get the defuse as well. That was unbelievable.
Thrifty.
Wow. That first shot made you feel like it was completely solidified for Vivo. Heat would play the back and forth game, but Klaus coming up so clutch on that round. And we were talking about it, Doug. That was the rounds that were connecting one after the other for Vivo Key. KRÜ needed to put a stopper in that bleeding, and they were able to. Now at 5-5, our first half of split. You're looking at attack win rates, defensive win rates for these teams. Vivo Key has a 46% attack win rate on this map. So all the rounds they can get here are going to help because Vivo's defensive side is quite a bit better than this. And KRÜ, they're not going to let him get as many rounds as Vivo would like.
It's interesting, Vivo Key have not enjoyed going to A at the beginning of the round. Again,
So true.
It's been mid, it's been B. They haven't worked very much towards A, at least initially. At all. And here for Vivo Key, with this lean towards B, you're walking into so much KJ utility again. With slight difference on how KRÜ is setting things up. They still have that turret in the same spot, but not playing the Alarm Bot Nanoswarm stack up in heaven. This time it's actually down low at entrance, or exit, excuse me, out of garage.
Wow. KRÜ doing a nice job at varying up the defense. We do see that Kesnet's rotating back and forth. 3 still bolstering the site. Vivo Key again come up with the shots here and separate the rounds. Not too much utility out of either side. Just kind of a fake in the Astra smokes to see what kind of retaliation they might get, and it's going to be a reset.
And that was such a good gravity well, right? Like, they wanted to go, and mind you, they don't have a ton, right? Like, it's not like they have a ton to work with. Heat's the only one who's got a rifle, but they wanted to go. The gravity well really stuffed it right off the bat. 30 seconds left. They're still stacking towards B. The one difference is Heat has worked his way at mid, at least to a decent spot to cut off any sort of pinch or any rotations. Klaus is in a good spot, though. Oh, what? How does Maurice hit that? He's already gotten 2. Heat's getting another one.
Heat given the flank, given the Phantom. How much more can this come into play? He hears the team rotating through heaven, can give that call.
Oh,
what a nade! Oh my gosh, Kesnet!
But he gets a spike down. The Blade Storms comes out as well as Kesnet's left alone in a 1v1 with Heat. That doesn't feel good.
And a whoops.
All right, here he goes. Kesnet on repositioning Heat. Just waiting. Playing up in heaven. The swing is there. He once again finds himself in a 1v1, and Kesnet answers the call with the 3K and the defuse to give KRÜ the lead.
So many angles to be aware of, switching back and forth, but Kesnet on fire right now. Super aware of the spike plant and the chaos that it was close. A few nades into the correct spot. And this, after that gravity well you mentioned, they were finally able to get in, and it was just a family photo of KRÜ looking around, taking pictures of Vivo Kid.
There are a few things quite as satisfying as like Sheriff one-taps. They really are.
Yeah. They feel good. Or a triple nade. Instant.
Or
Triple
that.
nades.
Right, I'll take that
nade.
too.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Vivo Kid opting to take a timeout here. They find themselves down 1 round. In the difference in where Klaus is set up this time. Heavy stack towards A. You've got the turret, you have all sorts of util, and you have the alarm bot to make sure there's nobody who works their way up through ropes or up ramp to get into heaven. So I really like this setup here. They're also going to play aggressively in towards garage, get the ult herb in the pockets of Mazzino, continuing to farm that up, continuing to get that res online. And the one other thing that's got to be called out is look at where Nagzed is. That cheeky son of a gun. He's already taken mid.
Finds a way up. A lot of audio can be grabbed there. The people will run through sewers pretty much towards the top, and then that small hallway is the walk, so he can get a lot of info if Klaus does, or Joe rather, does decide to make any noise. Kesnet with the peaks understands that that's going to be used for a peak. Somebody's going to be on that, so he can call at least a few members of Vivo on A.
Vivo Kid have 3 pretty key ultimates to work with, and Heat is just 1 point away from having the Blade Storm online. I'd love to take a look at where Nagzed is right now as well, because you've got a couple of really tight spots. Yeah, Nagzed's spot's been given away. He's going to have to dash away. Fortunately, gets healed by the warm, welcoming arms of Mazzino, but the position's been lost.
Yeah. Oh, they're heading up towards A heaven. Do they
No
lock
way!
down towards A?
Satchel Blast to get
25
away!
HP.
And now Kesnet's got his own Showstopper that goes in. Muri's has been cleaned up through all of that. We have 2 lockdowns going out as well, so absolute chaos on the side as you've got them dueling. Joe somehow dies to a nade of all things as Kesnet has been pretty dang good with that bit of utility. It looks like both teams with 15 seconds left are going to have to wait this out, and then they're going to go. They don't have a lot of time to make this happen anymore. 2 members remaining on the side of Vivo Kid, the orbital, or excuse me, the Cosmic Divide comes out, and he just doesn't have time. He doesn't have the spike either.
KRÜ,
What a play from KRÜ.
a fantastic read. Remember what happened the first time Joe had lockdown? There was a stack towards B. They get inside Vivo's head. They say they have lockdown again. Let's stack on A. And they put the majority towards A. Reading those strats. It started at B, but they did end lockdown A. KRÜ coming away with a 7-5 for very much a reason there, being on top of the strategy of those last few rounds of Vivo Key. Let's see how the side switches, though. That's a great first half, I'd say, for both teams, and kind of what we considered and what we saw to start here as Vivo Key came back.
We're going to throw it down to Dash and the rest of the folks at the desk to break down everything they saw in the first half. Dash, take it away. I too definitely want more nade kills. We'll see if we get a chance at it. Riv, you mentioned in the first half that for Vivo Key, they need to get as many rounds as possible, and that's all like icing on the cake. Is 5 enough?
I think 5 is a good look. It is still a dominated map by KRÜ with both win, attack, and defense percentages for them. So it's still going to be an uphill battle, but I believe they put themselves in a really great spot. And again, I keep saying it, broken record for me. The way that Vivo Key adapted there, I feel like gives them a better chance too, knowing the aggression now that KRÜ wants to play with. It might change though now that they're on attack. I mean, they were already walking down mid on defense.
I mean, look at that, right? Littered.
The Caterpillar.
Astra Stars, KJ Util. I mean, you certainly don't want to push your way that way. As Mazzino has already dropped early on, KRÜ testing their mettle on the attacking half. They have a 2-round lead, sitting pretty here, at least so far, but you've got to get this pistol, right? This game at 7-5, that's hardly a lead.
Yeah, it's true. And I love the snuff on both sites. A quick Sage Wall on A, Doug. All that util like you called out on B. Nobody can rush through those. Right. So the initial strategy of KRÜ has been thwarted. How do they run the mid-round strat now? Already given mid, and we'll see how they play around this.
Yeah, you're right, Riv. They entirely gave up mid. You've got Heat, who's going to be playing back. Make sure there's nobody working their way around. Did he hit that? Heat still alive. Hello.
Good kills.
3 people coming his way. He gets cleaned up. They should have easy access onto A from this point forward. The 3 remaining members of Vivo Key are nowhere near the site. They're just now starting to show up. You've got 2 in heaven. A great nade, but the spike is planted Anyway, Nagset's been dropped.
3v3.
Yep, Klaus and Delzik are both relatively weak, too, so this is certainly a winnable situation. You've got a Ghost in the hands of Miris to work with. Oh,
Does he
boy.
keep pushing? He's watching the back. Heaven and A ramp is going to be the take. This gives Maurice a chance to come around.
Vixen!
Oh,
Oh.
Vixen!
Able to win that duel onto Kesnet. 3v2 in favor of Vivokid. Again, this pistol is so important. No, surely not. You don't check the discipline corner. Are you kidding me? Klaus is just sitting there, able to get two, but Vixen looking to trade it back. 3, looking for the fourth one. Delzik's just running away, but Delzik
my
with the shot. The
word.
spike goes off. KRÜ win the pistol.
The discipline corner indeed, Doug. They'll remember that one for the rest of this match. What a way to get 2 on the team during the execution retake. Beautifully done. Klaus able to figure out how to be a sneaky rat for just a moment. I mean, this guy comes over from Overwatch League as a duelist. Now on Sentinel, still dueling stuff out. Don't even worry about this guy. What a play from him. He knows what he needs to do to get these rounds in their favor. 8-5. It is going to be our second round, second half, and we got a Sheriff for Maurice here feeling good.
Might be the only way they're feeling good right now. Again, that pistol, while it's still a close map, I think that's the big window for them to work their way
Ow,
into
ow, ow.
this. Ooh, baby, that hurt.
Self-heal. Doesn't feel as good, but just gets out of a secondary as well. That would have put the bleed on, and he would not have been able to heal through that.
That's like life flashing before your eyes.
Yeah, it's
types.
very scary. He's probably considering, hey, I'm about to be rushed or taken down. We do have a bit of that lean now over from Heat. And things reset for just a moment as the audio cuts here. Spike has dropped, but it looks like the execute will be towards mid or B once it does happen.
And they haven't shown very much. So I think they still have a couple of options to work with.
50 seconds.
And plenty of time. Yeah, you're right.
They feel like they've gained good ground in A, so it looks like that is what they want, Doug.
So Kesnet can make all sorts of noise, can draw out all that util, clear out the turret, draw out the really everything that's there. But will that be enough to draw rotations over? Will that be enough eye candy to make them think twice about it? NTK's already dropped. Mazzino's able to get one. They dash onto the site. There's just one member remaining. Backside and Heat. If there was anyone to do it, it's Heat, but no. Nagset able to clean that up. They have full access of A.
Walls around. Screens is not an option anymore. Almost the shots from Maurice. Needed that Sheriff to connect. Can Vixen pick it up? Still has the classic in hand.
Spike ticking away. Joe's about to have his hands
Nice crossfire.
full. Vixen was as well. So KRÜ win the round that they're supposed to win. Vivokid now staring up a 4-round deficit. And this is where they have to start to mount this comeback, right? Now that they have rifles, now that they can make something with the money that they have. But much like in the first half, Riv, while it was close, KRÜ kept it competitive with how they were able to hurt the economy of Vivokid enough to get them to a first half lead.
Yep. How will they make sure that economy does not go down this time? There is a res to be had on the side of Mazzino. And Vivokid looking with some rifles here on this round. Cosmic Divide almost up. We've seen that change the flow of rounds time and time again once the spike has been planted. How can it be played out on this one?
KRÜ are going, baby. They're going hot and heavy. Look at that. They've already gotten into elbow. They had some presence up in heaven. The thing is, they have not established heaven control, right?
Word.
So you can get onto A. You're going to put the wall up back in defender spawn as well to cause problems for NTK to work his way through, and that is I mean, you swing around that. You've got your hands full. Kesnet and Nagset there. The smoke to continue to cause problems. NTK trying to go in aggressive. Gets tagged up through the smokes. Has to self-heal. And NTK lands the shots. NTK gets a second one.
Super smart play, holding each of the angles they need to. Klaus drops one, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too much for him as he is just getting the 1v1s, trying to get the peaks out. That was a freight train onto A from KRÜ. Super impressive there, but it looks like Vivokid patiently playing that one out. A deep breath before the retake, and they were able to take down every member of KRÜ on the way in. NTK with some big frags here from Vivo as he gets pressured from multiple sides.
And really, I think at that point, they were huddled into sight, right?
Yeah.
Like, they were huddled into back A, so you didn't have heaven control, you didn't have ramps control, as we just saw, and then there was the fight that ensued back in defender spawn, which was really the only place they could have turned that either which way, but that falls in favor of Vivokid. So, for KRÜ, they don't win the bonus, they don't completely blow up economy. but they still have a 3-round lead.
They do have a 3-round lead, and now with guns, I think this slows down a slight bit more. Everybody wants a little bit more life expectancy out of the rounds they're playing, but Klaus is going to stop that dead in its tracks for NTK as he falls. Looks like they won't have that A coverage. Now we're seeing KRÜ wait for Vivo Key, rotate across the map. Still patient, right? KRÜ gets a kill. They don't need to do anything. They know they've scattered Vivo Key slightly. The next move is going to be what counts.
Now, Klaus has the alarm bot set up right at bottom ramps towards A.
He just about lost it.
Yeah, it should be clearing it. But to make sure that there's nobody pushing their way, right? There's no flank that's going to be coming around. So they're leaning towards B with that setup. You presume they don't want to go the way. The alarm bot was just recalled, so they want to go towards B here. They have a heavy stack. The lockdown's going to come out as well. Cosmic Divide going to follow. And the thing is, you can play that back sight high-low to stay out of the range of the lockdown and still cause problems. And Kesnit's going to go forward. Yep, Vixen was there. We called it. He did get enough to get one. But there has been one player locked down. The spike should go down at the hands of Mizzino.
And they quickly wall off Joe. He's not going to be able to do too much. Maurice still has full utility, and there's the Cosmic Divide we were expecting to come through for this round. KRÜ look to have the numbers necessary to be able to take round 10 for themselves, or I should say round 16, and a 10th round for themselves. No damage really to be done. Maybe Maurice tries a little bit. He's always good for a few, and he will get himself into a dangerous spot on the exits. Oh boy, oh, spam down. There's no way you're getting away from that firefight. And now Joe gonna find a nice little corner, take to it.
Mess around and find out.
Yeah.
Or so they
basically
say. And he did mess around, see if he could get a couple on the way out and paid for it with his life. But really for KRÜ here, you've got, you're golden, right? You still have 4 up, you still got rifles, you even have 3 players who are gonna go in with full armor. So you're sitting pretty financially, and like things have just kind of been cooking, right? They were cooking in the first half and they've just continued here.
And it flexes into those stats for for KRÜ rather. 68% defensive win rate for them, so they were able to catch a lot of rounds there. 62 attack side win rate, and that's, like as I said, higher than Vivo Key's. And Vivo's strong side was their attack, so those 5 they got in the first half, they need to be able to squeeze out a few more rounds here, especially now that the bankroll is up for KRÜ. We'll see what happens once we can actually get out of this timeout, get the weapons in both teams' hands once again.
Speaking of getting weapons in both teams' hands, we'll take a look at what both teams are going to be bringing in. As far as weapons go, it's going to be rifles both ways. Kesnit has that showstopper. You've got NTK, who's a little close to the res. See if they try to prioritize that. No, he's actually playing across the middle of the map.
Cool. Quick stars to deter the peek in mid, and you can see those Astro Stars creating pressure everywhere. Again, the Caterpillar lineup, you can call it, going into B with that smoke and gravity well just behind it. This orb continuously focused. Vixen, maybe a jump peek.
And Riv, that you mentioned that orb being continually focused, that's been on both sides of the proverbial ball, right?
Yep.
Mizzino was able to farm that on the defensive side, still getting it on the attacking half. So for Mizzino and for KRÜ, it's just kind of been easy, right? Have that res up as frequently as you possibly can, and it's all just because there hasn't been very much contesting.
Right, you look at the looks some teams have there. It's the turret for Killjoy. It's a Sky that's there to flash. If you're not seeing anything, even after or before the utilities used, you just go for that every time with a little bit of backup.
Right.
Easy orb, easy orb. Mira's doing a nice job of playing the turret here as a little shield. Always fun to do. It could take a few shots for you. He gets away a little safer. And now KRÜ, they're going to waltz on in, have a little party here in ropes, and see how they react to this. Just on the other side is Joe.
Oh, boy. He's had his hands full, but he's holding off just fine. A stalwart defense coming out from Joe there. He gets in on it as well as he's able to one-tap Kesnit, give him the business, and send him packing. There's no way in right now for KRÜ. They tested things towards ropes. They tested things up in mail, and no, every door is closed.
I wonder if Vivo picks up a few rounds. They get that money that they need. This is already a great start to it, and he becomes the operator again. He starts to come online. It's a name we say for Vivo all the time. I know I tweeted out an heat after his game because he was amazing, and we need to see that from him because it seems like it also builds confidence in the rest of the team to just follow that aggression and follow heat to a victory.
Such a big play coming out from Joe there because he was, remember, there was no There was no util set up at top ropes. It was just him. There was no nano swarm and alarm bot that he could back up off of that continues to cause delay. He was, at least as far as ropes go, the last line of defense, and he's able to hold strong. Excellent play there from Joe. Now 1 point away from having the lockdown.
This becomes weird. When you start going back and forth in rounds, you have to be very aware of what each member on your team is buying and how much money you have, because the money starts to get very tight. Heat not really having to spend anything this round. And that's going to help the team as we focus on him here in heaven for a moment. 3 pushing up mid, and Muri's there with the crossfire. It could happen soon. He just gets his own 1v1 on Nags.
Crispy, baby, crispy. And then backs up. Gives off the illusion that he's fully retreated. Well, the rat goes right back to the corner, waiting to see if Kaznet's going to drop. Oh, Kaznet!
No way.
Get out of here!
Putting a good amount of damage into the legs, but not enough to the head. Muri's goes down there. 4v4 as we keep this one going. Spike is dropped all the way back in market now. And it is attempt towards B. And there was a little noise being heard by Klaus at A, so it looks like B is going to be the finish here. Showstopper is ready. Is that just going to be a blast pack into the site coming in from Kaznet?
But can Heat do the same thing that Joe did just a couple of moments ago? He's not necessarily as alone, but it seems like, yes, indeed, he can. The spike's down. KRÜ have continued to have problems going in, but Kaznet, can he find some success with the Showstopper? No Vixen drops. Heat's able to take care of Delzik as it's a 2v2. The spike just now making its way towards the site as Klaus is in a decent spot. Alarmbot makes sure nobody comes in from defender spawn. Kaznet playing down in hell.
Double.
He gets dropped. Klaus in a 1v2. The momentum's been all but gone, but can he rip it right back into his team's hands? No, it's Joe once again defensively holding up for Vivo Key.
2 strung together for Vivo Key. That's going to help. Maybe we see the op that KJ did for just 1 round. This is going to bring us a little closer to a tie game here. 8-10 as we head into the next round. And Vivo Key is starting to pull it back just a little bit. We should still, I think if KRÜ wants to go in for the buy, with 1,900 on the money they had, they should be able to get some weapons into their hands here, I believe. And if they can't, Vivo Key has done a very nice job of turning this game slowly into their favor if they can keep this momentum going now.
It has certainly shifted.
So it is going to be that eco.
Yep, KRÜ on a weird buy here. You've got a couple of Spectres. You do have the rifle in the hands of Mizzino. Again, you see it, right? They seem to prioritize wanting to get ultors, get kills into Mizzino's hands to have that res online.
The wall again. The instant wall shutdown. If you don't want to see the rush, you just shut the door right away. KRÜ can still go towards A. They will reset the map, though. They test what happens over on the side of Vivo Key's defense. But they have gotten the wall out, so KRÜ has a little bit easier access to a site, depending on how many members they have when they get there. 4v4.
Klaus. Oh, boy. That doesn't feel good. It's going to get pushed off by the nade, so positioning loss. Not that he had very much to work with to begin with. NTK gets that res online, but what do they do with it here?
Coming back. Made a little pressure mid. It was just the KJ they saw. In the 2v2 hold right now for Vivo Key could come up big, but it looks like this operator from Nagzet could do some damage. There is open angles he can find in a 1v1 if he moves up first.
Yeah, this is just such a weird buy. Fortunately for them, the lockdown's on the opposite side of the map.
30 seconds left.
Swings out. He's about to see a whole lot of something, but is he gonna have the patience? He spots one. NTK.
Down A.
Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. Nagzet's left alone. He's got the op, and surely he wants to try to save it in this situation. 13 seconds left. Nothing doing. NTK get 3. We talked about the defense from Vivo Key, right? First it was Joe, crispy, multi-kill. Then it was Heat, who got a couple of nice shots, and now it was NTK doing a bit of the same. Every single player has stood up in an impressive way in this half for Vivo Key.
Was that a concuss? And no, okay, it's just like it just whipped into the gravity well there. Couldn't tell for a quick second. And yeah, the cleanup, the calls, the comms, everything's coming in real clear right now for Vivo Key as they bring this to a possible tie game. 3 in a row. So now a little bit more money in the hands of KRÜ with that 2,900 loss credit given to them. We'll see if they can put themselves back on the board for an 11th round here. Mid space given slowly. Spike is dropped, so this is not the full commit. Just cross the map. A bit of a default here coming in from KRÜ as they want to figure out how Vivo Keyed will be pressured.
And if they can work Heaven and get some room to work with, again, the spike is down by Garage, right? So Delzic's able to pick it up, potentially drop the Cosmic Divide and give them a bit more room to work with. But the thing is, even if you have Heaven control, you're going to have to work your way through Heat in Garage to get the spike there. So they actually pull off. Heat is taking aggressive space in Garage, knows that there's nobody coming in that way right now.
Double look on Zipline. They're like, we're not giving any rope tricks up this time. All the utils watching back and forth.
Oh boy.
Boomba, check it out.
Oh boy. And that's off of the info that Heat's able to pick up from Garage again because of the aggressive positioning that he got. Starting to feel that, okay, they're not working their way in through Garage. Good chance they're working their way at mid, as they've done before. Great use of the utility. Here we go. The show's everybody up above it. Kesnet able to dodge it and get the kill. Joe looking to get it back, though, as he cleans up Delzic. The spike is down. In ropes, they still have to make their way through. Joe's been cleaned up, but NTK looking to stop things. He's not able to do it. He did get one on his way, but the spike makes its way into A.
I am loving this Raze game. It's a series of I can do anything, you can do better from each of them, back and forth. This time, Kesnet coming out on top with a beautiful blast pack dodge. 3v2. Can he and Vixen make this count?
Playing together. You see Klaus making sure there's nobody flanking in. Coming in from sewers. The alarm bot's going to give the position away. The turret's been cleared out as well. Surely they know at this point. They have a great idea of where they're coming from. Yeah, Heat's not able to do anything, and Vixen is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Did get Mazzino, but Kesnet gets to 3. And KRÜ finally stopped the bleeding.
Very important round for KRÜ. It was getting a little out of hand there. Vivo Keyed had their number round after round. But it took things like this, Doug. It took tricks like that up the sleeve of Kesnet to make sure this round would come through. And again, finalizing a few kills at the end here with the rest of the team. Nicely done to drop Vixen and Heat. He's feeling it right there. They're pumped. They're ready to close this out. It might have been getting a little worrisome there for a moment. But we're still guns on guns, and Heat has that operator again.
Nagset's played Storm online. Dancing around the smoke, playing a dangerous game. But somehow manages to get away unscathed, at least for now.
Res up on both sides. Expect this to be a little bit longer of a round, with that one first peak being quite aggressive so they can get the re-res on it. It can easily start to open something up. It doesn't look like anyone wants to go for it yet. We have stars in heaven and in mid. It is causing Vivo Keyed to play a bit more defensive around B right now. They do normally leave A a little bit more open with that utility we see from Joe. And it looks like that utility is going to be coming into play here.
Not only that, Riv, but Joe's been sitting on that lockdown the last few rounds, and he hasn't been able to use it because they've been pushing opposite sides of the map. They haven't been going to where he's set up, but this is now an opportunity for Joe here as they are leaning towards A. You mentioned they have all that util to work with. They also have that lockdown in mind, so in their back pockets, keep that in mind. Cosmic Divide coming out. They're blasting in. Turret playing contact. Gets cleared out.
30 seconds left.
That gravity well in the back of the site, making sure nobody's there as they clear into it, or they're pushed to elbow significantly. The most of KRÜ now into that A side. Cosmic Divide's going to slow them down, but we still, like you said, have the lockdown, have quite a few things to use from Vivo Keyed.
You should run.
And they can wait this out and then drop. There it is. Whoa, Nagset.
Oh, man.
Gets brushed by that op. Both lockdowns have been used. So gentleman's agreement.
Oh, boy.
Maybe tag one up, but should be able to get away with
3.
Access being tagged up as well. My goodness, this could be absolutely disastrous. Vivo Keyed are going in aggressive. Yeah, there he is. Nagset gets cleaned up. It's a bloody disaster, but can Vivo do anything about it? A 3v3 here. Make that a 3v2. KRÜ in a better spot, but Vixen's able to get it. Vixen's left alone here. He's got the op, but he doesn't have time. The kill's going to come through, and KRÜ get to map point.
Oh, a masterclass in chaos from both teams. How to work around it, what to focus first. You got to have the priorities in the right order to come away with this round, and KRÜ was the one to find it, even having 3 of their members locked up. These back and forths we're getting this game. It's like acrobats everywhere, Doug. Oh, my word.
Dude, what a shot from Kesnet. And he's done it a couple of times now. He's
Yes.
had a very impressive performance on this map.
Kesnet definitely feeling it throughout this one. Picked up, like I said, as the streamer, but now everybody's just dreaming about him. This guy being huge for the team. Heat needing to pick it up for the other side of the rest of the squad. Not particularly Heat, but just the team in general not finding the rounds they want right now off of those players. We saw crazy headshots in their previous games. It just seems that KRÜ has Vivo's number, and it's going to be another slow round here. They're happy to wait it out and pressure Vivo Keyed into a quick execution at the end of these rounds.
Sheriff out for Muris. He also had full armor, so you can play that slightly dangerous game. But play it with a little bit of insurance. Here for KRÜ, they've worked up towards the middle of the map. This time it's actually the turret coming out from Klaus to make sure there's no flank coming around. Flank contact. Kesnet has gotten the kill on Muris, so they're going to be able to work mid.
Kesnet.
But it looks like they're pulling back towards B.
See if they can pressure this. I mean, that's their star, so if they did need to use it for any kind of distraction, they could. Into the site they go. Two teams to the backside. Vixen and Heat with 2 big frags.
Oh, Heat's judge able to get a second one as well. Delzik drops. They tried doing something fast. They tried doing something hot and heavy, and Vivo Keyed were wise to it. They don't give up an inch. They get to 10.
Whew. That one, KRÜ fell into the trap on that. And it was a bear trap back here. As soon as they hit, this crossfire was absolutely disgusting. The shot from Vixen towards the back of the site, and Heat with a quick 2 and 2 to drop B out. KRÜ going a little bit faster than usual on that without realizing what was in the site, without knowing util. They jump in, and I think they realized that bit him in the butt a little bit. Vivo Keyed came out very nice there.
KRÜ's economy shambles.
Yeah.
3 sheriffs, a frenzy, and a classic. And NTK is what you're going to have to deal with here. The classic to clean up the third, and he's going to heal up, get away with it, murder across the middle of the map.
It makes it tough when everybody drops at one, same spot or not. Few taps, tippy taps coming in from Muris. They'll know there's a rat in the sewer and flush him out soon. They can wait on the spike if they...
That's one. That's one. You still got a long way to go, though.
Oof.
He cleans that up, and for KRÜ, I think that's such an important round because we talked about their economy being in a brutal spot. Vivo Keyed getting to 11, and all of a sudden we have to start considering the possibility of an overtime banger to start the series.
With the amount of confidence we just saw KRÜ shout and yell, and I actually thought they were going to be able to close this out, but it is never over until it's over. And Vivo Keyed still knew there was room to come back in. 2 rounds in their favor now, and it's such a, look at the scoreboard. So back and forth. Each team able to get under each other's skin for only a moment, but no full ground gained there. Just a few rounds each time. Vivo Keyed these last few rounds has been staying back to not give that identification out of where it's just Muris or where Joe may be playing alone in A. As they set this up once again, Joe alone in A, Muris playing by himself, and the double up in Zip for Vivo Keyed.
Now, Vivo Keyed are in a great spot here. They have that Cosmic Divide. They've also got the res coming through, so they have a couple of lifelines to work with to try to push this thing into overtime. Heavy littering of util towards A, and leaving Joe as the one anchor back that way.
There.
They're able to flex how this mid to B works nicely. They are working with 2 stars right now, so they have to stay concerned, and rightfully so. KRÜ is pushing up that mid area with a smoke out, but it clears. Will he be able to make a play?
Yes, Heat right there, swinging off of the contact that was happening mid, off of Mail, takes care of Nagzet, a 4v3 in favor of Vivo.
Zeno very patient as he gets the cavalry coming up behind him.
You will not kill my
There's a res that they may need. Oh, very, very brazen by Heat to go out in a full mid view. He gets himself to safety, pretty banged up though, and KRÜ come out with a res.
That's always such a risky spot, right? Because you pull the res, you know where it is, you swing out with it, but this time, as you mentioned, there was a beautiful stack up there to make sure that there were no shenanigans that went down.
Yeah.
Heat wasn't able to get anything off of that.
It's got to be noted too, they dropped NTK before he could res this round, so KRÜ already working with a bit of an advantage. Looks like Cosmic Divide maybe thought about here
left.
as they start to make their way over towards the A site. It is Vixen in astral form right now, waiting to throw it down.
Playing off of the contact, the turret.
Oh, it is.
They smoke off the turret. I think they may have smoked off the turret, but you're right. The Cosmic Divide comes down. Mazino's able to take care of Joe. Heat playing on the other side of the Cosmic Divide gets cleaned up. So the wall goes up, the spike goes down. It's a 4v2 in favor of KRÜ, looking to put this first map away. Miri's and Vixen are going to have to find their way in, and they're going to have to make something happen here. You see them both pushing in from opposite sides. Klaus is the only one playing outside of that Cosmic Divide as it expires. Now Miri's slowly creeping his way forward. Again, you've got Vixen on the other side as well, playing off the gravity well. Miri's with the swing. They spotted him. They cleaned him up. 1 down. 3 more to go. Make that 2 more to go as Vixen gets things down to a 1v2. But he's got 33 health, and the spike continues to tick away. I don't know that Vixen's going to be able to find room, to find space. He's not. He didn't have time. He didn't have help.
Moving him around, giving that variation, and we are going to see the Phoenix actually for Muri's this time, and not that Sky utility.
Should be a good one. KRÜ starting off on the attacking half. With there being 3 sites on Haven, you presume you have a bit more room to work with, a little bit more misdirection.
Roll the die.
A little eye candy. Potentially manipulating rotations from the defensive half for Vivo Keed here. Early pressure mid and a kill right off the bat.
Yeah, with that dart going over to A, they probably figured they find a few more, gaining early pressure. Nicely done by Vivo to start the pace. Can they keep it, though? We know KRÜ likes to set it once they get an open sight. Back and forth, the dashes go down in the tailwind in favor of Nags.
Able to get 2 big ones. Oh, the flash would have been there, but Kesnet shows up at just the right time to clean up Miri's as well. Mazzino looking to get the spike down, should be able to do so in relatively effortless fashion. Joe, 32 health, just now showing up to the party. Vixen's going to follow as well. You've got, is that Delzik making sure there's not a flank coming around the corner. You've got a wall coming in through from Sage as well. It's just going to take forever to get through.
Astra Stars pushing people off their default holding positions, but like you said, they have to get through the wall first, and it's only a 2v4. They have their work cut out for them on the side of Vivo.
Yeah, Joe's left alone. The flash to grab some intel. The bullets from Delzik to win the round for KRÜ, so they win the pistol yet again.
And pressure from Vivo to start. KRÜ reacts nicely to it. I love the fact that Vivo showed immediately with pressure towards A, pressure on mid to get a bit of a read. Just once these mid-round strats, I feel, come out from KRÜ, you got Nags opening things up with a 2K. He got in and out of that site by the skin of his teeth.
So Vivo Keed here looking like they're not going to be forcing up very much at all, while for KRÜ, you had some big buys, bro. You've got Nagzet with the Phantom, Spectres the rest of the way, and yeah, Nagzet has light armor instead, but he's going to pack a little extra punch.
Ow, ow.
Oh.
Whew. Smart early play.
Trailblazer to clear out mid. NTK was able to take care of that. But boy, everyone knows the hit is A. KRÜ still got the spike down, though, towards the middle of the map. I don't know that they have to commit to this. They may just cause enough noise and then pull out.
Klaus able to find one as they peek through mid. Nice little detection off the turret as they continue to play it slow. Looks like they are holding A. They feel like they can rotate back, but Vivo's definitely pressuring to think they're going to hit A. This is our best chance here. We'll just play retake otherwise. One of the stars pulled back actually there. We just saw from Vixen, so they can commit it to something that may happen here at the site they believe it will be on.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing a lot of respect from KRÜ shown here towards Vivo Keed. Again, don't know what they're bringing. You know that Jay Howe didn't have much to work with. Heat, because of the gunfight he was in, you know he's got a ghost as well, but really are respecting that. With 30 seconds left, now they decide to go forward. Nagzet's going to dash on the side. The flash was there as well, but he's going to have to clear out the dart. Not able to land anything with the Phantom. That's off the board, but fortunately for KRÜ, Kesnet has arrived. Delzik has as well. A 2-0 lead for KRÜ.
Just shine a sheen over the screen as we kept getting to Vivo Keed members, and that was the flash from Kesnet, the team throwing themselves into the site with Delzik's stars on the entrance from defender A side. So quick textbook plays coming in, the expected rounds, but now we get to the gun round, Doug. Vivo Keed's going to have Vandals, Phantoms across the board. Looks like they like to switch it up, and the Spectres for the bonus round are still there for KRÜ. Let's see how they play this one. It looks like they are ready to bum rush A.
And I was curious to see if Nagzet was going to have a Phantom here. It looks like they do invest the money. Again, the flash, the dash, full control of A short.
One of them got caught. They weren't able to all get the cloud burst. Nice open from Heat.
Heat's in a great spot. NTK was as well, but finally drops. But Muri's, they're just not giving up very much at all. Muri's again. Delzik trades that out. Yeah, 2v2 on the site. The spike is down.
Last player
Oh, Joe's in a great spot. Delzik's good for 3, though. Leaves things down. In a 1v1, and Joe answers the call again to get Vivo keyed on the board.
Just testing each other right now.
Yeah.
Literally putting each other to the test. Straight through to A. A nice push out by Heat to start picking up frags on the round. NTK's darts are giving a lot of info up, but again, we see the action happening in the site. The difference, though, this time it comes up for Vivo. They have the utility now. They have a bit of that pressure. One of the kills here came off of Vixen using another star in that default plant spot, displaced somebody, and then they were able to trade the kills. Great job on utility to make sure they get around in their favor as we move into round 4.
Very interesting financial situation here for Vivo Key.
It is tough.
Even with that in mind, you've got one rifle, and that's it. Pistols and then a stinger in the hands of Joe. Miri's going to get a little bit of info, pop off a little warning shot, but then he has to give all that space right back up. Thank you to the Trailblazer.
A lot of garage control from the KJ utility. So you'll see Joe staying all the way from B to C, since that'll continue to stay activated within Killjoy's range. And up far, Mazzino, audio catch if he can get anything. A push up now towards long, but still nothing to commit with. They're trying to figure out who is placed where as we get into this round.
Amiris has the run it back online, but surely not in a position to use
pressure.
it. Well, even if he wanted to, he's not going to be able to anymore. The gravity well stopping the retreat from KRÜ. At least he attempted, as now they want to turn their attention forward. NTK was the tip of the spear, and he gets cleaned up almost instantly. Full A access for KRÜ.
And as they make their way into the site, still taking bits of damage as KRÜ got peppered, but this composition has the Sage, they have the Sky, they have multiple ways to reset that HP and keep the round going.
I mean, heals for days, baby. They're set up just fine to flash up in heaven to try to get some info. 3 members remain on the side of Vivo Key. And again, we have to talk about the weapon difference here, right? Like, this should be a gorgeous financial setup for KRÜ. A prime game and Flawless to give them a 2-round lead early on. Vivo Key a bit behind the 8 ball when it comes to money.
And they're able to do it with a lot of the Vandals and Phantoms to start, which means that operator money may be ready when the time comes, as that bank account goes up and up. Love the play here. It seemed like Vivo didn't want to commit anything to it. They gravity well a little late, but KRÜ able to keep the step going, I should say 1 step ahead rather. Take another round away, and here comes that intensity we see in KRÜ's cams as they continuously take rounds. Much like the first map we saw, Vivo still came back. We'll see what happens here as we get into round 5.
Heat's got a Guardian, not quite a Marshal, but still pretty freaking good. The Cosmic Divide's going to come out. It's a heavy lean towards B, and guess what? You've got utility for days. You had the Alarm Bot, 2 Nano Swarms there as well, and what that does is, that means only Nagset was able to get his way in. So he's the only one on the site. The Seekers are going to come out as well. Nagset up top, clearing out Miri's ult.
Seekers got gravity weld for a moment. They really couldn't do too much than Cosmic Divide. As we see that pushing through and finding one. They're over onto C now. First time we're going to see this action.
Zeno should be able to get the spike down. Vivo Key looking to attempt the retake. Heat going hunting. It's actually Miri's who's able to get it. Good for 3. Numbers advantage in favor of the defensive half. NTK, 10 HP.
Oof.
Considerable amount of damage as Nagset's able to take care of that. Nagset looking for a bit more. The hot hand's going to push them back to lay things for just a moment. Heat, surely Heat. My gosh, okay, he got it to half, but it was the Nano Swarm that kept things at bay. Muri's with the ace for Vivo Key. And he's going to get the defuse to get the run it back online.
Wow. And that's been a few for him already, actually. He's been able to get these frags in to make sure that happens. So prioritizing ult orbs for him possibly. I mean, he's 9-4-1, so yeah, he's making an impact right now for the squad on Vivo's side. And great job, NTK, finding one in the back. Kind of gave up the position of where Killjoy was coming around, and the rest of Vivo Key could then assess how to play this properly. The 1-2 there. Got to feel good knowing the aim's on from your Phoenix.
Yeah, Miri's the mad lad feeling himself in that moment. Still find themselves in a deficit, but it's a close game, at least early on. A couple of ultimates up on the side of KRÜ. Rifles for everyone, and as we mentioned, Miri's was able to get that run it back online. Thanks to the defuse in the previous round. A little bit more testing of the waters. The Trailblazer to clear out a short. You've got Nagset, who's going to take some space away long, cause some problems, but do they commit?
Just playing the Astra Peak game at C, patiently waiting for any pressure as we see it first through short A here. And a good push up from Nags. He might decide to go, or is he going to stay for the long haul here and wait for the rest of the team to come in?
Heat taking an ambitious peek there once again to try to jiggle out and maybe trade out a kill, and he gets punished for it. And you're right, Riv, now KRÜ, I mean, they have options, right? They still haven't pulled off. They haven't rotated the spike either way. What do you hear? Yeah, he has to use that run it back right now to get info.
Absolutely.
Because there's nothing there. They have nothing to work off of.
It was just Vixen switching over. They pulled the stars from C. Now they know C is not being taken. This is a good move from Vivo. How do KRÜ respond?
Naxat was there early. Hasn't drops as well, but Mazzino, now he's starting to show up. Joe hasn't given up an inch. Vixen's in a great spot as well, but the jumping shots. Good for one. Vixen still playing backside. Klaus is left alone. He's got the spike, but Vixen good for 3, and oh baby, we're tied up at 3 apiece.
Great mid-round movement from Vivo that round. As you mentioned, the run it back, going down long C, complete safety for them to be able to figure out what's going on in the map and keep their member alive. And they just had a complete defensive structure set up at A, ready for KRÜ.
It was an early dash, and there was just no real easy way to be able to follow up. So he dashes out there, looks around, and oh crap, I'm in a brutal spot. He gets cleaned up, and it just felt like a bit of a disjointed push coming out from KRÜ. Now they've got Sheriffs to work with, and that's all. You still have those ultimates, and Naxat is going to bring that Bladestorm online, as you just heard. Last Ultorb going into the pockets of NTK to get the Hunter's Fury going. But what can Naxat do with his ult?
This round quickly turned a little bit here for KRÜ. They threw an alarm bot towards A, so Klaus could go towards mid. Now he's forced to watch A. Not a problem. The team's looking like they're going to go mid, and he'll still be in a good spot. But it looks like it is Vivo already pushed in, ready on the BC and BA side.
Naxat down to 13.
Great shot.
We talked about the res ability, or excuse me, the healing ability on the side of KRÜ to equalize that just a tad. But from all of that noise that was made B, take a look at where Heat is, right? Cheeky little cubby spot. He's about to have his hands full, but he's got that Vandal. He can mow them down. Good for 2. Dash across the Cloudburst there. The flash is there, and he's going to have to challenge that. Mazzino's able to clean things up with the Sheriff up close and personal. Res out into Delzik, and now they have to rotate away.
They got that Vandal. 2 Vandals, or 1 Vandal, sorry, on the squad. There's the lockdown as well. If they can get it far enough up into C, they get a little bit more time to set up their defense, and the post plant becomes stronger. Ultimate from NTK, J-How as well, and Vixen with the Cosmic Divide. The gravity well pauses for KRÜ.
Left.
Walls up, and at this point, they know, right? At this point, there really aren't very many places you can do this, but I mean, do you really need the ultimates when you've got shots like that? No, sir. It's Joe and it's Vixen that are able to hold fast, not give up an inch to KRÜ as Vivo Key take the lead.
You think the ultimates are for the last-ditch effort, and that is right. They go firing right out of the gate on that one and just using the aim to take down KRÜ on that. So this is exactly where the alarm bot was destroyed in the beginning of the round that Klaus tried to put down. Ability to move up for Heat. He starts distraction. They get a good read on the overall play, and that eco round becomes that much harder for KRÜ. 4-3 now, guns again to both sides. Ultimates abound here on the side of Vivo.
Early flash into garage, no info gained as nobody was playing in that spot. But I like this from Heat. Do they check it? No, they don't check it. Naxat, surely you don't make that mistake again.
Only a little bit of damage done. Gets out safely. Still spike down in window. It's going to be picked up now. And this might be the first time we see a garage work here. It's Delzik with the thought. How will he get in with that smoke towards window?
You hear that?
No.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing. Once again, KRÜ playing the sound game, playing the info game, cutting noise. I mean, you could hear a pin drop.
True. They're all 3 in garage now, slowly playing this. Vivo usually has someone hovering around this, but you can see NTK with the range of how far deep the round is. He wants to play it even safer. Full util for him if he doesn't want to peek it again. He has that sonar bolt. And you can see Vivo start to rotate around the map. Spike is still with Klaus, though. Where do they decide to end this?
They have some time to work with, but they haven't gotten much. as far as space goes. And again, Heat finds himself in an aggressive spot where he's able to cut off any sort of attempt that way, but that alarm bot's going to give him away. So they know they can't go away. Heat's going to have to back up with 14 seconds left. Riv, do they just save here?
They do. They do save with 3 squad on the map. It's a very interesting round to have as your round 8, but this is what pressure is being forced on the teams. The Astra Stars, the Gravity Wells, everything keeping them out of a sight has made this very hard for KRÜ to make their way in for a plant.
So Vivo keyed, if I'm not mistaken, this is the biggest lead they've had all series. And this is only, I mean, the previous round was where they took it, but this is also the first lead that they find themselves in the series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they have to keep doing this. They have to understand that their play right now, I think, is making KRÜ a little agitated. They're not finding the opening frags. Yeah, they'll see somebody on the alarm bot, but that person then just runs back to the site. It's pressure in the mental that they're keeping there. Is Heat still there? Is he going to pressure? You just don't know. We'll see how KRÜ starts to adapt. We know both teams did that on the last map of Split. They do it around this time. Who will be able to do it first? Does KRÜ bring this back to a tied game?
What they do bring back into this round is a decent buy. Again, you've got 3 rifles in the Bulldog, which, does that count as a rifle necessarily? But Kesnit's also got the Spectre, so they have some room to work with, but Muri's has just been locking things down on A. Mazzino gets messed up, and the thing is, if it's not Muri's, right, it's Heat. They've controlled A so well. Now you've got Muri's repositioning over towards short. Make sure there's nobody pushing in that way. And if he's not dealt with, that's a problem as KRÜ try to get onto A. They have to clear that out.
Slowly in. Looks like it's going to be the full retake. Smoke up. That's the call from NTK that this is going to happen. And he actually goes for the off plant.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, you have to clear that out. You just felt his presence. He assumed he had fully rotated off of sight, but he had crept his way into short. The spike's down. Now Muri's is going to be able to back up, but they're challenging the fight. Kesnit swings out as the dash comes across from Nagzet. Give a little eye candy, make him think twice about where he wants to go. Distraction and misdirection is all he needed, but Delzic's able to take care of Joe. You hear the Seekers have been used as Spike's trying to work his way further and further up, so they were able to spot where that there is a flank coming in. Heat's position has been given away. They know there's somebody wrapping his way around. The Cosmic Divide's going to come out as well. Vixen with a great swing out to land the shots onto Nagzet, 2v2.
Still a few stars to place for Vixen. Can look to get those Gravity Wells to displace. Heat coming out from the outside. He does make the kill before the dash.
Kesnit? No, it's Vixen up top. Vivo keyed, looking great in this half.
That I was going to start the recap of this round with Vivo keyed may have had a lot of wait, how is he there situations, which you never want to have, especially in professional play. You should know where everybody is in the site and the take of the site if you are fully in it. Here, there were a lot of oh wait situations, but still able to make it work with Heat and the rest of the Vixen coming in for that. What a play. Keeping themselves on top, going into round 10 now, and they have 5 in a row, forcing KRÜ for a timeout.
Not only that, but they broke, right? Like, they're big broke.
Yeah. You pointed out just a second ago, it is a bit of a frenzy by Spectres. They do have money in the bank, so it looks like they're thinking of the rounds to come, obviously, and having a few buys even with this next loss.
Now, with it being Spectres in a frenzy, you know they want to try to hit something fast and close the gap, right? They want these up-close and personal fights, so you remove the advantage that the rifles have in the hands of Vivo keyed, and that's why you see the dash in. Delzic's already good for one. Nagzet dancing around the smokes, but Heat's Bladestorm's good to take care of one as well. Vixen still playing backside, though. The anchor not refusing to give up an inch, excuse me, as Heat's good for 3, just narrowly missing the 4th, but fortunately for him, NTK's right there.
Quick back and forth, great trades on each other. Heat and Vixen again. Just this dueling teamwork that seems to be pulling up the rounds by the bootstraps. 11 there for Marie's, 8 and 8 behind. Everybody's still getting some frags on the side of KRÜ, but knowing the ultimates aren't coming up as much. Klaus has been focusing orbs here to make sure this comes in. They may be able to get this lockdown play. If they do the lower, they maybe go B, go A, and throw Vivo for a loop here. Definitely a lot more strength coming out of Vivo here, warmed up and online in map 2.
It's concerning for both teams. Their attacking half is statistically, that's a hard word to say, statistically they're better of the two. So if you're Vivo keyed here, you've got a great lead on the defensive half. You know you're going into your bread and butter in the second half as well. I mean, you just pile it on.
Keep it coming. Still over a minute left here. Spike is moving a little bit more now with KRÜ. They want to be able to activate these rounds quickly instead of hold it off What a spray down of Maurice, and that's a big pickup frag coming into the 11th round.
All right, KRÜ, what do you got? What else can you make happen here? They slowly but surely try to creep their way into garage. You've got Heat, he's got the op, and that nice new Zed. Skin in the pistol to work with. You hear the lockdown has been used. The Hunter's Fury out from NTK to counter that. Both traded, nothing gained.
Towards A. I feel like the lockdown may have given a bit of intention over towards that B to C site. Here come the Astra Stars as they make their way in. It's Delzik.
Nagzet's in a really cheeky spot here, so it denies any sort of entry in from Link. Shock dart, but no, Kesnate able to get the spike down. Again, keep an eye on Nagzet. Oh, he gets a little froggy, swings out, cleans up Heat. Cloudburst, causing problems up in heaven. Now they're all going to pull off. Full giving up on sight, and Riv, you could almost see that before it happened. They were all pulling off, knowing that the lockdown was coming out. Cosmic Divide as well. But is that going to be enough time for them to retake the site and get the defuse? You've still got Delzik who's close, so Delzik's going to be the first one there. The rest of them are starting like a mad dash, flying their way forward. The pop flash!
Got it, they got it.
Vixen's alone. Vixen's alone, Vixen's alone! KRÜ desperately needed that round.
Absolutely.
And they got it.
And that was after the eco. They were funneling money into themselves, so now they're feeling good to keep it going. What a playoff of that one. The time they do get to use that lockdown, it gets the Hunter's Fury out. It allows them to then rotate the map. One of the first times we've seen it's been a lot of wait and execute after the round dwindles down. This time they throw Vivo for a loop and find themselves possibly coming away with a 7-5 if they keep that last round momentum going. Operators are out.
And they're in the same spot.
Oh.
Look, it looks like Heat's going to peek long. The question is, does Nagzet look long?
Hit him.
Not able to dash across. Yeah, Nagzet got messed up. But once again, heals. It's all good.
Give him a little rub down. He's good. But back in the game in just a moment. So actually going for another peek. They're going to let the smoke clear, and he may try to challenge long again. Is the Sova drone coming in? They know that KRÜ is still trying to advance on this A main area. But not down long yet.
KRÜ, once again, quiet. Oh, but that's big. Delzik's just died, down C long, so at this point, right, you had understanding that there was some presence that way. That gets cleaned up, and from that, you see Vivo Keep, man, they're staying at home. They haven't moved.
Slow rotation over. Mazzino's going to commit as well with the team. It's going to be a 3. It's going to up the gut on long C. Yeah, Mazzino's going to join the team as well with 40 seconds. All right, they pull back. I'm going to say without a flank, that becomes very scary to know who could be coming out mid, who could be coming back around. And now they do have to retake what is A, but they have to do it in a pretty fast manner. They don't know if anybody's hiding in these corners.
Up. Oh! It misses. Oh, and he misses again! Heat's not able to make anything connect. NTK cleans up Mazzino as the entry's onto the side. NTK good for a second one. It's NTK looking for more. Line him up and knock him down. He gets 3, 8 seconds left in the round. No problem at all. Joe gets the last. Vivo Keed get 8, and what a half from Vivo Keed.
Vivo showing that personal frag potential. Everybody's showing up in a lot of the 1v1s, 2v1s, and it has drastically changed what we're seeing here in map 2. They rotated quite well off defense, but it was just the fact that they had the better opening frags when KRÜ was taking the site. Let's switch the sides.
Let's switch the sides indeed. But before we do that, let's toss it down to our friends at the desk to talk a bit about what they saw. Dash? The possibility of map 3 just around the corner, but as he said, we still got to get there, right? There's still a bit of a road that we have to traverse before we get to that point. Vivo Keed on the attacking half here, 4-round lead. They're bread and butter, as we mentioned, and whole baby, they're going A.
They are. They have that bot, which probably means we will see Joe staying a little bit more towards the backside. Actually, he's given a spike on this one, so they're all going to be moving up. They may actually lose this flank potential right away. Kesnit in a very dangerous spot to start off this pistol. A great wall, and we'll see how KRÜ uses it.
Zeno trying to get up top. Nagzet's trying to do the same, but no, they have to give that space back up. The drone's going to work its way up short. And they wait. And they're going to rotate him off.
Very quick. Sage wall feels good. I didn't think I see how slow there, but there is still a heal. Ooh, a little hidey hide coming in from Maurice here. Taking down one more. Now the 5v3 as they go for C.
Oh boy. Delzik has his hands full and he knows it. Boop. Clears out the dart. Repositions. Oh, all of them. Everyone swinging around the corner. Klaus able to take care of Heat.
Oh,
back sight, 21 health. You got in, he dealt some damage, but he's going to have to give it right back up. Nagzet's left alone. Nagzet.
Dink.
Oh! Doesn't feel good, but you've got Mary's again.
Spike planted.
On the flank. Nagzet's got to check every corner, hold the timing, be gratuitous to Nagzet. Nope, he's going to have to dash away, and guess what? You dash away, and you dash away into two other members. Woo. So Vivo Key take away the pistol.
Great pressure on that. Coming up around the outside. I love the heady play as well. We saw Nags trying to figure out where they were coming from, always checking the flank, but it just wasn't enough in the end. This means Vivo is going to start to string a few together here, but KRÜ does not want that. The Marshal's out. Nags is going to try to get a quick peek here at long.
And this is a really big deal, right? Because when you're looking at an 8-4 half, you almost, and if you're the team that's down, you almost need that pistol, right? Like for it to be competitive, because all of a sudden you lose that pistol. The gap that you could potentially find yourself in is so gargantuan in that moment that you almost need the pistol to keep it competitive. Unfortunately for KRÜ, not able to walk away with it. Vivo keyed at a spot where they can really snowball this map out of control, and they're investing into it as well. Heat with the Bulldog.
I'm not sure how Nagzet and Joe don't see each other, but they're very close to the end of long. They're actually pinging him out the push. And Delzik comes up for a quick pistol shot. Does not find what he wants. But good info being grabbed here by Nags that he can deliver to the team. I wonder how long he can do that.
Not going to be around to do it for long. Klaus is up tight. Surely not. Right? Surely not. Okay, Klaus gets cleaned up. Zeno does as well. A team ace for Vivo Keyed. They keep everyone up. And yeah, there was a little bit of damage done on armor. But Heat, NTK, they're all good.
That was a round of spreading the wealth for Vivo here. They're feeling really good coming into the gun round with that team ace. That's going to help quite a bit to make sure everybody has the util necessary. Like you said, hardly even went down in that aspect either. Anyway. And now we see buys to 0, which means if this is a third round loss, that's $2,900 going into each one of those 0 bank pockets on the side of KRÜ, with $2,950 for Delzik. So this is an incredibly important round for KRÜ right here.
Well, you called for it.
That's big.
Yep.
That's huge.
Nagzet takes care of Heat early on. Ray's a little bit worse for wear as well, just down to 6 armor and 87 health. The spike melts its way a little bit towards B. Wall goes up and delays some of that push. They're going to break it out just to give off the impression that there's a possibility that they're going to go that way, but nah, they're rotating off.
Keeping that alarm bot pretty much active. You can see just toying with that distance that he has to see if anybody will push out, and they decide to keep mid locked down right now by Joe. A could be the play. Kesnet gives a bit of a call, but no full rotations coming up yet from the side of KRÜ.
Right there.
You got Mary's who slowly worked his way up short. Yep, here comes a Trailblazer to try to gain some of that info back. Mary's clears it out. 42 seconds left in the round, and there's a heavy stack towards A. You've got some util going that way as well.
Yep. Pressure to heaven.
Zeno's in a good spot if he doesn't get cleared out, but yeah, NTK wraps around, and there's just nothing he can do. Nagzet's able to take care of NTK. And Joe falls as well.
Yeah, ready for the lurk is KRÜ, and they dissect that multi-pronged attack from Vivo coming in from the attack side now. Maurice gets himself back in, tries to get a trade, knows one is on the right, and he'll allow that knowledge to be played over to Vixen.
Delzik's on the flank. Oh, but a great kill out from Maurice. Is he gonna have enough time for the plant? Oh my goodness, by the skin of his teeth. But that's all it was. Kesnet stops the shenanigans, stops the monkey business, and gets the round for KRÜ.
And what do we say about this round for KRÜ? It meant so much. The game after this could basically fold in the favor of Vivo because of not having money to get into the next round. It still hurts them, though. Remember, we saw those zeros. They get it down, so it's about 3,300 those people with 0 in the bank were getting. A little better, but this is still going to be an uphill battle. Very much so for KRÜ into the next round.
Pop off, King. Pop off.
Yeah.
Vivo keyed, they're still sitting pretty though, right? They've got a 5-round lead. You mentioned how important it was for KRÜ to stop the bleeding. They do that. They do still have 2 Spectres here to work with. Light armor for Nagzet. Zeno, little warning shots. Down long. And then the Trailblazer should have gotten some info short.
Slow peaks. You can hear that audio, actually, that was on the side of A. So Maurice is kind of doing a little jump, giving a little step here, see if they can draw a peek and bait it out long for the double peek that they had from the side of Vivo. But KRÜ playing very smart, passive on this one. Getting an idea of what's going on with a lot of util mid.
That's big. That's so big. You were just talking about how they were kind of playing passively, but then at that moment, they decide to go aggressive mid. Joe with the big kill on it. Klaus, the alarm bot gave that position away, so they got a little antsy, right? They worked their way up mid, and they got punished for it.
See how they detect what happens here. They usually only leave 1 in C on the side of KRÜ. Could Vivo take potential advantage of this? It's going to be a Blade Storm coming out if they need it. Lockdown's there as well for the Phoenix Ult, and then it's dropped immediately.
Instantly, with 30 seconds left, it looks like they are going to go ahead and push the matter forward. Heat dancing inside the smokes. The spike has arrived. Heat has dropped. Delsic with 2 big kills there. You've got the lockdown as well coming out from Zhao, but that's it. And it's not going to be a factor. Nagzet's able to clean him up. KRÜ get to 6.
KRÜ playing super smart right now. It's great to point out that push down mid with the wall going up at A. So they're basically denying certain entries, knowing it's going to take KRÜ longer, and Vivo longer, and then KRÜ know they can work the map a little bit more, knowing we won't need as many on A. It'd have to be a full rush long, or they have to break wall, giving themselves just moments to play with and grab more info, as we just saw, pushing down that mid. Cosmic Divide, Nagzet with the Blade Storm still, and KRÜ feel good to be able to put a little bit more money in the bank for next rounds to come.
Early wall coming out from Zeno across garage, and then you've got the turret there as well.
So much util. Oh my word. All the eggs in one basket right here, Doug.
Literally. And that shock dart doesn't hit. Yeah, it doesn't hit the alarm bot, so that's still going to be playing contact. You've also got the Trailblazer that just cleared out long, so you know they haven't broken down garage. You know you have space to work short towards A, and that means B is likely where they're going to go. And that's exactly what's happening. The Nanoswarm's able to clear out mirrors. Klaus gets the second one as well. If it's not the gun, it's the utility. The outcome is the same. Also has the lockdown to work with, but the thing is for KRÜ, this has been their MO, right? Like you feel things out, a little touch and go. And if you don't like what you see, you rotate out. That's exactly what they're doing.
How do they reset this? We see smokes being played mid right now off of NTK. If that bot can be detected, Nags and Mazino coming out hard from the flank and garage doors. That's going to be enough to pincer in the rest of Vivo, which is NTK. And they only lose 1 on that round. KRÜ looking good.
And Zhou was in a spot where, so he had the alarm bot, and the attacking side alarm bot right at garage door, right? So there was, as soon as, I don't remember who it was. I want to say it was Mazzino. As soon as Mazzino started pushing out garage, the alarm bot went off, and that position was given away. But as you said, Nagzet had taken so much space away. And he was in window, was able to counter that and save him at just the right time. So for KRÜ, all of a sudden, it's 3 rounds in a row.
It is pretty crazy how they're timing these double peaks from across the map that crossfire mid in such a weird angle, but they are working off each other nonetheless. Along again, actually orb focused out here. Kesnet now gets Seekers from long, and they'll rotate across the map, feeling a little bit of pressure here at C.
Hunter Siri coming out from NTK. Joe gets a spike down. They're going to go ahead and back up. Got any shock darts? All right, so lockdown's out.
You should run.
As well, it's going to be countered by one of their own 2 ships passing in the night.
Yep.
Nagzet and Vixen just swing right by each other, but the timing is good for Vixen as he's able to get 1 Klaus trades out, Joe. He's going to get locked up. It's a 3v3 on the site. You've got members detained all over the place. The wall's going to go up. He's just sitting there. He's a sitting duck. Vixen alone in a 1v2. Mazzino on the tap. They know where he is. Mazzino's just going to stick it. Yeah, there's no reason to swing out. Yeah, it's okay if Kesnet dies. Again, Vixen not able to get around the wall. The defuse comes through. Vivo key to get to 10.
That was a big stoppage on what KRÜ had been working on the last few rounds. A great retaliation to come back in with the utility they had. An instant cross-map play. I love the way that Vivo shot in there and basically said, this is our site. The Sova allowing them to play a little back, and that identification that we saw coming in really helped them to grab a bit of info. But nonetheless, you always see the last few frags going to KRÜ on some of those rounds, and they've pulled 4 in their favor now. And this being a save now for Vivo on the pressure. Cosmic Divide is there. Heat could lick, oh, they're going to lick the smoke. Focus the Blade Storm right here for Heat. Make it quick, make it easy. Ooh. Oh! No heal for him either.
So you've got Kesnet who flashed down long, and that allowed Nagzet to get that much space with the op and get an opening pick. So that was beautiful, and I hate that we missed it, but again, it was that flash.
Yep.
Info was grabbed. The space was taken away as well. Beautiful shot from Nagzet early on.
Turret just placed down. Actually grabbed up. Doesn't look like they want to stay there for too long on the side of Vivo. The majority of pressure now for KRÜ, respecting that B side, using Killjoy utility for both Garage and C, and they can play off the Astro Stars and the Operator on the other side. How will this work out as Heat goes in?
No shot. I'm surprised Heat even got one there. Delzik was in a great spot to stop that, but Klaus gets right back up to where he was. Miri's disrupted as well as Vixen. He's got the spike in front of him, but the problem is he also has a whole lot of members of KRÜ that are in front of him. Chalice position's been given away. Now Vixen's left alone. Vixen, good for 2. But boy, he's still got a long way to go. Fortunately for him, you've got 30 seconds left. So yeah, you can flip the map if you want to, or as has been customary for both of these teams, you cut, noise, you sit, you wait to see what the play is. Again, look at Nagzet.
A bit of a moment to move out now. He could definitely see the thought in Vivo's mind on this play. The last time they rushed into C site, hardly anybody was there. Except when you have somebody tailwind in and updraft past everybody's smoke, you can't assist that person. And KRÜ was there this time. Had 2 in the site, 1 in Garage, ready for this play. So KRÜ as well adapting to what Vivo is trying to pressure on these sites.
Yeah, and I think, again, like, that opened up because of this play, right? Nagzet's taking that aggressive space away. So for Vivo Key, you know you can't go A because you've got an op who's watching you. They also, on the side of KRÜ, walled off the entry to B, so you know you can't go in that way until that wall's taken down or until it drops, all right? Either you shoot it out or it times out. So they can stack Garage, they can stack C, knowing that you have room for util, knowing that the rest of the area of the rest of the map is locked down. You have room to breathe.
KRÜ bringing it to a tie game with 1 more. Instant molly towards the bot side of A. They're still going to have to clear it out, but it gives them a little potential to hold down the A orb right off the bat with Astro Stars on it as well.
Oh, what can Nagzet do?
They double up on it. Okay.
Trailblazer. Nagzet. Nagzet, can you land the shot?
For a moment. Just patience. Still stars being placed out. Long C being held here by Vixen, making sure there's no full push down as he keeps that peak going on. They're just, right now, Vivo's relaying information to each other. This drone's going to have a big play to finally realize that, yes, Nags has been there the whole time. Do they hard pressure him?
Shock dart.
Down to 50.
Yeah, he's so weak, man. He's had utility thrown all over him. The Cloudburst to deny information gathered from the dart. The heal as well! Oh. Ooh, baby! Playing with fire.
Almost jumped into it, Doug. Cosmic Divide blocking the front of each site, but also the activation of the turret, or Killjoy utility will be of assistance.
Dude, KRÜ are not giving up an inch. Right? The one thing that they've got cooking here is Delzik, so only 1 on site.
Oh, that gravity well.
And he did get on. He's gonna dash across into his Cloudburst. Delzik gets 2! 13 seconds left. They gotta get the spike down. They have control of the site. You've got NTK who's playing backside, and Vixen is there, but a 4v2 number so heavily in favor of KRÜ. Can they hold them off? No, Vixen's dropped. It's all down to NTK! NTK gets 3, but not able to get 4! Kesnet extinguishes the insane pop-off that would have been required to pull that off and gets the defuse, and oh baby, we're tied.
So much awesome happened in that round. Seeing the shots from NTK, Huge shout out to Vixen's gravity well. It was so strong you basically couldn't see how many members were at long C anymore. They all, the emblems on the minimap collapsed on each other, preventing the site take, allowing these two. But man, you still have to put up with this. Holy moly, NTK.
Dude, he almost did that. Whew. He almost did that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Feel it at home, for sure. Always love to see a good play, a good few frags there, but still cleaned up, as you said, by KRÜ pushing up. Ooh. Nags not getting that first shot, but they know where the operator is on the side of Vivo to start.
Right, and that's the difference, right? He's been playing A for the last couple of rounds. You've still got Sky playing towards A, so you're still getting information off of the flashes, off of the Trailblazer, which I think, by the way, he's put on a master class, KRÜ has, on how to play Sky defensively on A. It's just been so impressive how they play around that utility. But now the op back towards C, holding it down by himself. You've got Mazzino in a cheeky little spot. And you've got Joe playing there as well. Who swings first?
I was going to say, is this shoulder peek? He doesn't have that ankle just yet, though. Klaus, first blood of the round.
He has had such a hard time finding space, making anything happen in this series. Buries his ult.
What an open up on C. Gets the Seekers out as well. Vivo has room to run.
Oh, yes, indeed they do. And Joe runs his way right into A. The alarm bot to make sure there's no push coming in from Link. The spike is going to go down in the hands of NTK. Numbers advantage in favor of Vivo. Keith Klaus swinging out first. KRÜ's going to follow thereafter. The flash was there. Oh, but KRÜ good for one. Vixen's going to have to back up. NTK still playing on the site.
One enemy remaining.
What a shock dart. Yeah, I don't know that Nags has a way in.
Nope. Hunter's Fury's up as well after that one. NTK with the last few rounds. That was, even to think about how much bigger it was to bring him up to his ultimate, he would still be 3 away at this point. So huge now to have to carry into the rounds. Nags is going to keep the operator. Maybe it's a top C shot. They have been focusing A. Do they have the idea that they're not forced to watch the ult orbs this round, so he may be able to go anywhere with the operator from the side of KRÜ's D.
For Vivo Key 2, lockdown, you still have the Hunter's Fury that you mentioned just a couple of moments ago to carry into this next round. So just from like an ultimate economy perspective, Vivo Key are sitting pretty.
Absolutely.
Right? For as late as we are in the game, as much of things have gone back and forth, they're in a spot where beautiful shock dart, even given how well KRÜ have played, they won 6 of their last 7. Vivo Key, they have a couple of insurance pieces, bits of ace in the hole if you want to play.
And they're not many rounds away from feeling elimination, Doug. They know what's on the line here. This is incredibly a high-pressure game, even more so than just the best-of-3 series versus KRÜ. Tournament life on the line here. 1 round up, Vivo setting up a strong defense and not giving out too much.
And this is troublesome because the turret did not spot Nagset on the cheeky spot that he's holding. All right, but the drone did. Okay, so he's going to have to give that position up. No shenanigans happening this time around. You see Mirror's also drawing some attention towards B, but no utilization of the Killjoy util yet.
There's a little bit more room grabbed as well by Vixen here, pushing up C. Usually doesn't get into the cubby. They stay back a bit more where you can see NTK and the rest of the squad coming in. They start to say, hey, we want to take a look at B. Let's see if it draws anybody out for KRÜ.
Lockdown's been used. Spike's still waiting towards C long.
Yep. Trying to play off the ball here. Oh, what a look by Delzik.
Here they go, here they go. Mazzino's playing in the smoke. Oh, Mazzino, great shot, and he gets rid of the dart. He swings around, gets the second one as well, looking for the third. Delzik takes care of it. There's no way in for Vivo Key. They're going to have to pull off. Yeah, it's just down to Vixen. And he doesn't have the spike.
KRÜ with a heck of a shutdown. They are definitely reading Vivo Key on these rounds without even stepping out of the site, knowing which way it would be pushed based off what we saw from Nagset at A. The lockdown comes out, and they're basically able to push everything off and not worry about it.
So you've still got the Hunter's Fury in the hands of NTK going into the next round, but I think for KRÜ here, we talked about ultimate economy. You mentioned how Joe used his, but now Klaus has one to work with. Delzik is close to having that cosmic divide online as well. So basically what I said at the beginning of the round about ultimate economy leaning in favor of Vivo Key and how they had a couple of lifelines to work with, forget about it. It's all good.
KRÜ just playing in these spots, maybe to take Vivo off guard, because when Vivo comes into a site, they have 2-3 members instantly going in that we've seen, unless Heat kind of makes that gap with the tailwind. And to see Mazzino sitting there and ready to take that, they are just in these positions to completely catch Vivo off guard.
They're going fast. They're going fast. They have the util there, and they're going right into the op of Nagzet. He's got some util. Dash out, but he lands a shot and gets away.
Now he goes to short. The tried and true. Still getting pinged up a little bit, so he's going to have to change his mind on how this works. Turret watching top as the smokes go down, and it is going to be Vivo on A.
Mazzino takes care of Joe
Spike.
as well. Oh my goodness, the wheels have fallen off the bus for Vivo Kid here. They're just picked apart, they're ripped to shreds. A prime gaming flawless to get KRÜ to map point, to get KRÜ to series point, and potentially eliminate Vivo Kid.
And you can see the playbook dwindling here for Vivo. It goes for a C, a wait strat. Okay, next round we're gonna hit A, we test them, and it does not seem like they can test KRÜ hard enough now that they have this momentum. Still an incredibly close game, but we're seeing the momentum shift at a very, very pivotal moment.
The pop off again. So close. You can feel it. You can taste it. KRÜ on 1 round away from making their way forward into the knockout stage, but you can't get ahead of it too far. You still have 1 more round to go. Op still in the hands of Nagzet. You still have Klaus with the lockdown to work with as well for Vivo Kid, as you said. They've tried a couple of things. They have light buys the rest of the way. So take an egregious mistake out of KRÜ for Vivo Kid to extend this map.
Do they pressure mid? Gonna put themselves in the hot pot here as they throw in. And who starts the fire first, honestly? They already have the turret watching behind them for anybody at long C, and that might be seeing Nagzet soon, but he's not going to push out too far. But that ground gain is already enough to show a rotation from KRÜ to the right side of the map of BA.
Yeah, it's info gathered, right? It's info so much gathered that Mazzino puts the wall up on short, so they're going to go ahead and rotate the spike that way, and guess what? There's going to be a nice big ice wall that's not going to allow you to work your way in. You've got the lockdown as well. They have this read, but can they get the kills? Heat up tight. Kaznik gets onto NTK. The Hunter's Fury's not there. Kaznik gets the second one as well. 2 members remain for Vivo Kid to keep tournament life alive, make that one. It's just Vixen, and no, sir. KRÜ's going to advance.